Two of the most notorious villains you have ever witnessed have clashed in a memorable and dramatic battle between two of the darkest forces. These two terrifying antagonists from different universes engage in a relentless conflict. One man, who has lost his sanity and embodies limitless madness, is Omni-Man. As a Viltrumite, he possesses unmatched strength, terrifying speed, extraordinary endurance, and the ability to fly beyond imagination. Not only is he a formidable warrior, but he also carries with him a wealth of brutal combat experience, adding to his danger. In contrast, Doomsday, an unstoppable destroyer, has evolved with every failure to become an immortal nightmare. With his miraculous ability to adapt, he grows stronger after every confrontation, with power and durability exceeding the limits of most heroes. Doomsday's regenerative abilities make him an insurmountable challenge, having defeated even Superman and instilled terror in the nightmares of countless heroes. In a place where every punch shakes the universe, the unrelenting destruction only makes the battle more intense and terrifying. But before we dive deeper into the debate, please hit the subscribe button, it would help us a lot. Thank you very much, and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Doomsday is not just a simple threat, he embodies destruction, like an apocalyptic nightmare ready to strike at any moment. To face him, the Justice League had to unite, with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman leading the fierce battle. However, despite their best efforts, it's undeniable that Superman and Wonder Woman bore most of the heavy burden. Doomsday not only possesses brutal strength but also has a terrifying regenerative ability, allowing him to stand firm after every attack. That extraordinary endurance makes confronting him a terrifying challenge, even threatening the mightiest warriors. The battle was a sacrifice for the heroes, but for Doomsday it was only the beginning. When it comes to this fight, it cannot be overstated how frighteningly powerful he is. Dealing with one of Doomsday's terrifying punches could destroy everything. When Superman had to use both hands just to block one of Doomsday's punches, you realize how terrifying his strength is. Doomsday consistently has the power to knock Clark down and toss him like a toy, sending Superman flying back violently. Throughout the battle, he completely overwhelmed Kal, not giving him a chance to retaliate. Doomsday's attacks were so powerful that he easily knocked Diana down, forcing her to retreat and be thrown far away by his fierce punch. Wonder Woman could do nothing but endure his immense strength. Yes, Doomsday is a nightmare unbelievably strong. Previously, he stopped an asteroid the size of Texas and lifted that massive rock with one hand. Omni-Man, with his monstrous physique and terrifying strength, nearly killed Invincible, took down a giant kaiju monster, and then engaged in a brutal battle with Invincible, where every punch sent Mark flying for miles. Both Omni-Man and Invincible are experienced in fighting formidable opponents. Their Viltrumite legacy gives them strength that could face Doomsday to some extent, but they must be cautious, avoiding prolonged battles where Doomsday could easily adapt and overpower them. Superman is indeed impressive, but when compared, Omni-Man is even more superior and astonishing. Nolan might be stronger than Clark, and if Superman is the toughest opponent Doomsday has ever faced, then it's highly likely that Omni-Man is even stronger than Doomsday. While Doomsday is still a terrifying force, Nolan is no less formidable. Omni-Man possesses all the core abilities of a Viltrumite, including flight, super senses like keen hearing, and even limited regeneration. This allows him to survive fatal wounds like being impaled through the body, then recover stronger than ever in just 1 or 2 months. In terms of speed, Omni-Man is no less than Alan the Alien, a creature capable of traveling between galaxies. After defeating Mark, Nolan flew to a planet in the Virgo supercluster, 65 million light-years away from Earth, at 1.6-3.2 billion times the speed of light. And remember, that was just Omni-Man at the start of the series. He only got faster and stronger over time. That power and speed make Omni-Man one of the strongest in the universe, ready to face any threat, including Doomsday. I want to emphasize that Doomsday not only endures punches and attacks from Superman and Wonder Woman, but he also recovers quickly, as if nothing happened. His ability to take numerous hits from DCEU's two strongest without falling is a clear testament to his terrifying strength. He has survived massive explosions, even a devastating nuclear bomb, and when Doomsday fell back to Earth, he continued to wreak havoc on Gotham as if nothing could stop him. Even when impaled by Superman with a kryptonite spear, he didn't stop, even killing Superman himself. However, Doomsday's true strength lies not only in his immense endurance but also in his near-instant recovery ability. When Wonder Woman severed his arm with her sword, Doomsday didn't just take the hit, he regenerated his arm instantly, as if nothing had happened. Doomsday is truly the embodiment of the worst nightmare. He now stands on par with powerful entities like Darkseid and Thanos. His continuous adaptation and evolution have pushed him beyond previous limits. By the end of the series, an Omni-Man not only became stronger but also twice as fast, capable of moving at speeds between 3.2 and 6.4 billion times the speed of light. He might be even faster, as he surpassed Thrag, who nearly defeated Mark, Nolan, and Thaddeus right after they destroyed Viltrum. Omni-Man at that point was a formidable warrior, a storm of power ready to overwhelm anyone who dared face him. Doomsday's regeneration ability would certainly pose a significant challenge to Omni-Man, but that doesn't mean he would easily surpass Nolan's incredible durability. Omni-Man is not only resilient but also extremely difficult to defeat. Remember, Nolan withstood everything Cecil threw at him, from the reanimant to high-powered lasers, and even a giant monster pumped full of superhuman steroids. He fought against Immortal, who tried to kill him, and even during his battle with Invincible, when Mark landed heavy blows, Nolan remained unshaken. Doomsday may have survived a nuclear explosion, but Omni-Man is even tougher. He not only survived a massive nuclear laser blast, but also emerged unscathed. In fact, Omni-Man is so difficult to injure that even making him bleed in battle is nearly impossible. And don't forget Nolan, along with Mark and Thaddeus, destroyed the entire planet of Viltrum, which had 1.25 times the gravity of Earth. But that's not all. Before they crashed into the planet, Space Racer fired an infinite beam at it, demonstrating enough power to blow up a planet. Doomsday or Broly could face Omni-Man without facing too much danger, but remember, Hulk has only two true strengths: unlimited stamina and strength, which depend heavily on his emotional state. This means that while Hulk has limitless potential, Omni-Man's power is concrete, solid, and much harder to defeat. I don't think the battle would end easily, but Doomsday is indeed a terrifying opponent. Look at how easily he could chase down and dodge Superman and Wonder Woman. Moreover, Doomsday possesses the ability to emit powerful energy pulses, flattening everything around him. His heat vision attacks have repeatedly blown Wonder Woman backward and even overwhelmed Superman. He can fly from Earth to space in an instant, and compared to him, Invincible Mark looks like he's moving in slow motion. All these factors combined make Doomsday a formidable nightmare. Omni-Man once fought against an entire race of super advanced aliens and subdued them with little difficulty. To defeat this giant monster, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman had to join forces, but even they couldn't win without the help of Kryptonite. Doomsday is so strong that the entire Avengers team was almost wiped out when facing him. His strength is on par with, if not greater than, Superman's, combined with terrifying endurance and regeneration abilities. He also has adaptive evolution, growing stronger with every hit, and can create massive biological explosions. His heat vision is twice as powerful as Superman's, making him an opponent that even the strongest heroes must be cautious of. Please subscribe to the channel, it would help us a lot, and you'll get to watch amazing videos every day. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Omni-Man's strength and speed are formidable threats, but when facing Doomsday, his real advantage lies in his regeneration and immense energy. Meanwhile, Omni-Man is not only powerful but also stands out with his uncontrollable brutality, something that few enemies can handle. Heroes like Black Widow, Hawkeye, Black Panther, and Spider-Man, despite their talents, would soon be outmatched in this battle. Only powerful warriors like Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Doctor Strange, Wanda, and Captain Marvel would be strong enough to stand against Doomsday. Doctor Strange and Wanda would have to keep their distance, using their magic to counter him. Hulk, with strength and endurance comparable to Doomsday, and Iron Man in his Mark 50 or 85 armor could face him head-on. Thor, with Stormbreaker, could slice through Doomsday, exploiting his weakness to magic. Wonder Woman could also inflict damage on him with her sharp sword. But the truth is, in this battle, no matter how strong Omni-Man is, he would only rank third. He wouldn't be able to match the overwhelming power of Superman and Doomsday, and when facing Spawn, Omni-Man wouldn't stand a chance. Spawn would kill him and turn him into one of his undead soldiers. In a showdown between Superman, Doomsday, and Spawn, the outcome could swing in any direction. Superman has the advantage of strength, speed, and intelligence. Doomsday excels with ferocity and biological adaptability. But Spawn, with diverse powers and combat experience, has destroyed Superman even when he was empowered by the Mother Box, one of the strongest weapons in the DC universe, even breaking his arm with ease. If Wonder Woman can sever Doomsday's arm with her sword, it's nothing compared to the power of the Necrosword. Gore with the Necrosword wouldn't just cut this monster, he would incapacitate him completely. Doomsday, despite his advanced evolution, couldn't withstand attacks that he couldn't react to, especially when his limbs were continuously severed. Doomsday, with his crazy adaptive and reactive abilities, has faced and defeated many of the strongest beings in DC, each confrontation making him exponentially stronger, rendering him nearly unstoppable and almost immortal. This monster was truly designed to adapt, overcome, and evolve beyond any attack he encountered. Omni-Man, though powerful, almost got killed in his fight with the Guardians of the Globe, heroes considered the strongest on Earth. In that group, only Immortal reached S-Class Earth standards by One Punch Man criteria. Their strength, including Omni-Man's, is insignificant in comparison. Omni-Man's greatest achievement might be at the high continental level, and he only achieved that with the support of friends and family. This shows that even with all his strength, Omni-Man hasn't reached a low planetary level. In this battle, when facing opponents like Doomsday or Gore, Omni-Man's power seems to be just a faint shadow in the war between superhuman forces. Saitama can obliterate an attack powerful enough to flatten the Earth's surface with a single punch, without even using 1% of his strength. His power is limitless, meaning he can adjust the force of his punch depending on the target, from killing someone to destroying an entire planet. One punch from him could wipe out a national territory, while Omni-Man's strength couldn't even reach half of that. Meanwhile, Doomsday evolved in the harshest environment imaginable, prehistoric Krypton. Through cloning technology, he repeatedly died and came back to life, evolving each time and becoming immune to anything that had previously killed him, eventually gaining the ability to regenerate and evolve permanently without the need for technology. He even became immune to Darkseid's Omega beams. Doomsday possesses incredible healing abilities, allowing him to rapidly regenerate after most injuries. His bones protrude from his skin into razor-sharp spikes, not only protecting vital organs like his brain, eyes, and nervous system, but also serving as deadly weapons on his hands, elbows, and knees. Notably, these spikes contain a deadly toxin, making him an undeniable threat. Doomsday's superhuman strength, while variable, has at times allowed him to easily confront the entire Justice League, including Superman and Orion. In those moments, he became the worst nightmare the heroes ever faced, an unstoppable killing machine. Omni-Man gasped for breath and finally collapsed after that intense battle. If his opponents had known in advance that it was he, and not some mind control spell coming for them, they would have stood a much better chance of effectively confronting him. Immortal and War Woman were too focused on figuring out what was happening, which reduced their ability to fight Omni-Man. But once they overcame their confusion and fear, they truly managed to give him a hard time. If Omni-Man and Invincible had heat vision, he would become an even more formidable opponent. The ability to emit powerful heat beams from his eyes would allow him to melt anything, cut through obstacles, and turn enemies into helpless victims. As great as Batman is, in a head-on confrontation, Omni-Man would still have an overwhelming advantage. I believe that with preparation time, Batman could defeat Omni-Man, but otherwise Omni-Man would win 75% of the time. As Superman flew over the skies of New Mexico, he saw a green monster battling Doomsday in an unmistakably fierce fight. The desert was torn apart by craters, plateaus were leveled, rock formations crumbled, and buildings were destroyed. After a quick scan, Superman confirmed that no one was trapped or in danger, but the battle continued, turning everything around it into ash, where life remained only a faint memory amidst the storm. His display of power shows that we truly don't know the full extent of Doomsday's abilities. Anything Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman tried to throw at him had no effect, except for the Kryptonite spear. Doomsday withstood a barrage of punches from Wonder Woman and Superman, but it didn't faze him in the slightest. Despite the confrontation with Doomsday, his power remained more terrifying than ever. Meanwhile, Omni-Man, who came to Earth under the guise of protecting the planet, was actually plotting to conquer it from the very beginning. Superman shot his heat vision at Doomsday as he charged forward, fists ready to strike. Doomsday countered, but before he could attack Superman, Hulk's green hands had already clamped down on his arms. Despite struggling, Doomsday couldn't break free from the grip. Superman rushed in, slamming Doomsday to the ground with tremendous force. If Doomsday gained the upper hand, he would become a living nightmare, dominating and causing uncontrollable chaos. Superman and Wonder Woman, two of DC's strongest heroes, have struggled many times to stop Doomsday, but he remains a threat beyond imagination. I have to admit that Omni-Man is on a completely different level compared to many other characters. He has single-handedly faced and taken down the entire Guardians of the Globe, and even though they fought fiercely against him, Omni-Man remained confident. If the information he provided about his abilities is true, with him being able to withstand a massive meteor the size of Texas, it would elevate his strength to the billions of tons. But even so, Doomsday is far stronger than any opponent Omni-Man or Invincible has ever faced. Ancient Krypton was a hell of violence where only the strongest creatures could survive. Doomsday, born from the hands of a mysterious alien named Viltrumite, underwent a brutal process to become the ultimate life form. Viltrumite and his team sent thousands of infants into Krypton's harsh environment, where they were immediately killed by the environment or fierce creatures. The surviving creatures were used to create a stronger version, until finally, Doomsday was born. He endured thousands of painful deaths, and the memories of this cruelty were encoded in his genes, driving him to become a nightmare for all life. Each death turned Doomsday into an unstoppable killing machine, and his strength reflects the brutality and suffering he endured. Doomsday is indeed an unstoppable destroyer. His sole purpose is to kill and destroy everything, especially Superman. Confronting Doomsday is a fight without compromise. He doesn't understand emotions or regret. The moment you stand in his way, you're immediately facing death. If Doomsday were to truly appear, Earth would be reduced to ruins within an hour. Although Hulk may be stronger, you could at least try to reason with him. Hulk, despite being a monster, retains some humanity and never really attacks civilians. The shuttle finally landed on Kundia, where the warlike Kundian clans had united to create armor for the warrior Cobalt. Cobalt, hoping to survive long enough to get Doomsday onto a rocket, was defeated by Doomsday before the rocket could launch. The explosion from the rocket propelled Doomsday into space, where he encountered Zaran Pel, a Green Lantern. Doomsday seized Zaran's power ring, sensing the power of the Guardians of the Universe, and headed straight for them. Hundreds of Green Lanterns were slaughtered as they tried to stop him. When Doomsday reached OA, a single Guardian sacrificed himself to face him. Ultimately, this sacrifice wasn't enough to stop Doomsday. In fact, the massive energy explosion the Guardian unleashed tore through space, severely injuring Doomsday and causing him to plummet unconscious. When he woke up, he landed on the planet Kalton and ravaged that world for 3 long years, when only the capital remained. The royal family combined all their life force into a single energy entity known as the Radiant. With a powerful energy blast, the Radiant destroyed Doomsday, wiping out more than 1/5 of the world in the process. However, according to Calatonian burial customs, Doomsday's body was shackled and masked, then shot into space as an unforgivable killer. He crash-landed on Earth, the impact so strong that it buried the coffin deep underground. But Doomsday wasn't dead. Each time he was killed, he resurrected, evolving to overcome anything that had defeated him. In his first encounter with the Justice League, right after escaping the Earth, Doomsday easily took down the entire superhero team in a matter of minutes, which caught Superman's attention. The scary thing is that he fought with one hand tied behind his back, but still managed to devastate everyone in his path, along with much of the surrounding area. Only Maxima was strong enough to defend herself against Doomsday's wrath. That's also when the name Doomsday was born. As Justice League member Booster Gold compared his destruction to the apocalypse, you see the difference between the Guardians of the Globe, or as I call them, the knockoff version of the Justice League, is that they're too weak. They don't have the overwhelming power of the original Justice League, and they don't even have magic users like the Avengers. Doctor Strange could trap Doomsday in the mirror dimension, and Scarlet Witch could turn him into spaghetti like she did with Mr. Fantastic, although this might be tricky with Omni-Man since he's so durable. But even without using sorcerers, they could still defeat Omni-Man. Thor is strong enough to take on Omni-Man, and Hulk is no less powerful. These two would undoubtedly take him down. Yes, this Doomsday has indeed become too strong, too fast, and he will surely win. What do you think? I know you'll have thoughts and feelings about this, so thank you for watching. That's today's video. Let us know what you think. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll stop here. Thank you very much.